My kingdom for a can of bug repellent. Folks, welcome to the channel. And yes, this is actually happening right now in Argentina because of the dengue fever spread by mosquitoes. People are running out of mosquito repellent. And the article, this is from Clarín, local media in Argentina. It says, mosquito repellent, how much does it cost to bring it from abroad delivered to your home? And people are paying $10 for this thing being brought from other countries because, you know, supply and demand, there's just not enough. And here is where serious, methodical survival and preparation distinguishes itself from the typical crap that is, you know, found on YouTube. Yes, this is a thing you should be prepared for. If you live in a place where, because of climate, and yes, climate does change from one year to the other. Sometimes you had more humid or hotter summers or not. That's always been the case. There's nothing new here that has popped up. It's always been like that. And sometimes you have an unusual amount of mosquitoes floating around and spreading the diseases they're known for. So dengue fever, and it could be other things. It could be yellow fever, could be chagas. Chagas is another thing. It's not mosquito. It's another bug. But anyway, the idea is that in serious preparedness, you want to have a supply of bug repellents and insecticides just to deal with these pests. Same goes for rats or other pests and plagues and things you need to take care of. Anyway, now, and you're hearing stories like we have some friends that tell us that maybe the kids take the one can they have left, they take it to school when they're going out doing sports, and they spray a little bit and hide it so as to not have to share it because, you know, it has become a pretty damn valuable commodity. And some people will probably be taking advantage of that in terms of the prices, but I guess eventually it will level out. But still, there's things here to be learned, right? First of all, it is noticeable how the difference between the fantasy and the reality of proper objective preparation is quite noticeable. Usually you will hear that you want to be out in the sticks for survival and preparedness. Well, not if you're dealing with damn dengue fever, which spreads through a mosquito that is a lot more likely to be found out in the sticks, in the woods, and where you have large bodies of water and tall grass where it reproduces. The pure honesty is that in cities, in more urban areas, especially like in larger cities, there's ways in which they can control that very effectively. And I've seen this myself. All of a sudden, you see a season where there's a lot of mosquitoes rolling around. You see his trucks, then you see people spraying and doing pest control and working hard at it. And oh, damn, 1 week later, there's not one single mosquito left. You're just surprised by it. And meanwhile, of course, out of the city, that cannot be controlled in the same way. So it depends on the vector of transmission that you're talking about, but usually it's a lot more simple to control that in the city than out of it. At the same time, when the disease you're looking at is being transmitted by us, by humans, and we've gone through this rather recently, then you want to be outside the city. That's going to be a lot better for you, right? So even within that specific area of preparedness, it depends on the vector of transmission, and it may be completely opposite which place is better for you to be in. This blows the mind of people that just do a very shallow introduction to these topics of preparedness. But for those of us that do this as our job, when this is our profession, these are the things you take into account. So options are always good. You always want to have some kind of bug repellent. Talking about that, there's advice that I gave here in Street Survival Skills in terms of finding your own ways of making your own repellents. I do explain here something that's been super effective for me. I think it's boric acid for ants, you know, and other insects, not so much with mosquitoes, but boric acid for me has been great, and especially now, which is the season for it. If you want to control ants, and I'll actually show it to you. You can look it up there. That's the recipe that I recommend going for, right? So yeah, I guess that's visible enough. This has worked fantastically well. Let me show you the entire thing there if you want to read it, right? This has been working fantastically well for me in terms of a natural way of controlling bugs. So tip for the video, have a ton of this stuff. Boric acid is super effective. It is damn cheap. You can buy a pile of it and stock it up just in case. Is borax? Yeah, one part. Yeah, borax. So, and for metalworking, blacksmithing, borax, and a number of uses for borax. It's one of those things you want to stock a lot of it just in case. I think that for ants, cockroaches, a bunch of little critters work surprisingly well. In terms of mosquitoes, you have the plant citronella. Yes, citronella. It's basically the same thing in English, right? Citronella plant. Well, that plant, citronella, has a scent that is very effective in terms of repelling mosquitoes. And the first time I came across this was in an estancia in Buenos Aires. Yeah, in the sticks, and we were staying in this very nice place, beautiful place that had a wonderful garden around, everything open, and there were no mosquitoes, and that just surprised me, because I know how it's out in the country in Argentina, and it's usually mosquitoes, and especially in certain times of the year, it is an issue, and they didn't have any. And I asked about it, and they said, no, we have citronella planted all around the property. So that's a natural, environmentally friendly, blah 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 thing that you can do, so as to have plants growing that they don't look bad, they have a very nice smell, and that smell, at least in that case that I saw, was super efficient at getting rid of mosquitoes. You also have citronella repellents that you can buy, like candles, even oils. So this is the thing where, if I don't have anything available, let's say I'm just surprised and I don't have, I'm caught with with poor preps and I don't have bug repellent, but maybe I can buy citronella oil, for maybe one of these candles or anything like that. You can put a little bit of that oil, and maybe that's going to be better than nothing in terms of a natural bug repellent. So things that you just want to keep in mind, right? And yeah, maybe planting some of these around your property as a way of reducing the amount of mosquitoes that naturally will be getting close to where you are. And that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you got something from this video, and this applies to a number of possible scenarios depending on the vector of transmission of the disease you're looking at. But have this stuff already stocked up. Usually will last for a few years, 2-3 years for sure. Most bug repellents and insecticides do. And know how to make your own. Know how to roll your own just in case. See you next video. Take care.